Hello, my friend. Today, I'm not telling you a 10-minute motivation and then everything fades kind of story, and I'm not giving you quick tips to magically fix your whole life, because there are things that if you truly understand them, deeply and honestly, you will never live the same way again. And what I want to share today is one of those things: the power of not reacting. Between a peaceful life and a painful one, sometimes the distance is just a single moment, the moment you choose to react or choose to stay still. We live in a world where many people want to see you lose your calm. They insult you just to see you explode. They stay silent to see how insecure you become. They spread rumors just to see whether you fall apart. And most people react instantly. They get irritated, they snap, they say things they wish they could erase just minutes later. People think reacting fast means being strong. But the truth is the opposite. Reacting fast only shows how easily someone else can control your emotions with just a single sentence. If someone can change the entire color of your mind with only a few words, then in that moment, you are no longer the one steering your life. They are. Take a moment and think slowly. How many times has a small argument destroyed a precious relationship? How many times has one angry message pushed someone important away from you? How many times has a single emotional reaction ruined the image you spent years building? Just 1 second of losing control, but it can take away so much. And the most painful part is this: it's not others who truly hurt you. It's the way you reacted that hurt you the most. Your reaction becomes the wound you carry. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will discover something powerful. You won't just survive difficult moments. You will become calm, steady, centered, and hard to shake. Not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because your mind becomes stronger. Your peace will no longer depend on the world. It will come from inside you. Lesson 1. Reacting means giving your power away. Many people don't realize this simple truth. Whoever controls your emotions is the one leading your life. When just one sentence can change your face, when one message can ruin your whole day, when one insult can make you explode, you are no longer in control. You think you are reacting to protect yourself, but in reality, you are simply playing the role someone else wants you to play. Many people misunderstand strength. They think reacting fast is strong, arguing back is strong, raising their voice is strong. But that is not real strength. The fastest reactors are usually the easiest to trigger, the easiest to disturb, and the easiest to control. True strength is staying steady when others expect you to break. Real power is not in reacting. Real power is in choosing not to react when someone desperately wants you to. No one can force you to respond. Let me tell you a story. A hard-working office worker was known for being honest, calm, and reliable. People trusted him for years. Until one meeting changed everything. His manager criticized him publicly, unfairly and unkindly. In that moment, he exploded. He argued, he raised his voice, he lost control right in front of everyone. He wasn't fired that day, but he lost something far more valuable: his image. From the reliable one, he became the emotional one. All because of one reaction. Sometimes people don't need to destroy us. They only need to press the right button. And we destroy ourselves. That is the cost of reacting too fast. The solution is simple: the 5-second rule. The strongest people I've ever met all share one habit. They pause, even when everything inside them wants to react. When someone disrespects you, lies to you, or misunderstands you, don't respond right away. Just breathe in, breathe out, and wait for 5 calm seconds. In those 5 seconds, the emotion softens, the mind clears, and the fire inside you loses control. You can still respond, but now with calm, not chaos. A tiny habit like this can save friendships, relationships, careers, and years of regret. Sometimes 5 seconds can protect your whole life. Lesson 2. Most reactions become regrets. There are moments we wish we could erase. A harsh sentence, a rushed message, or an action born from anger, not truth. What we carry for years is not what they said. It is how we reacted. Our own reaction becomes the wound we remember, long after the moment has passed. 2 sisters were once very close. At a family gathering, the younger sister made a comment that touched an old wound, and the older sister exploded instantly. She shouted, said hurtful things, and released years of hidden pain onto someone she loved. The room fell silent, and the relationship began to break. With time, distance grew. Their bond never returned. Years later, the older sister cried, not because of her sister's words, but because of her own reaction, one moment, a lifetime of regret. Strong emotions pass, but the damage of reacting too fast often stays much longer than we expect. The solution: respond, don't react. Your emotions are real, but your reaction is always a choice. When anger rises, pause and ask yourself one gentle question. Am I reacting to this moment, or to an old wound that still lives inside me? Sometimes 10 minutes of silence is wiser than 10 rushed sentences. Sometimes 1 hour of calm saves a relationship. Sometimes 1 day of waiting prevents a lifetime of pain. When your emotions settle, your words become clearer. And when you speak from clarity, not from hurt, everything changes. Your decisions, your relationships, and the kind of person you become. Lesson 3. Silence is a form of strength. In a noisy world where everyone wants to speak, few people understand that calm silence is stronger than angry words. Silence is not weakness. Silence is self-control, focus, and dignity. When you stay silent, no one knows what you think, what you feel, or what you will do next. And that not knowing is power. Your silence becomes a shield that keeps you centered while others lose control. It protects your peace and protects your energy. Let me share a story. A man was falsely attacked online by an old friend with edited screenshots, twisted stories, and heavy accusations meant to ruin him. Everyone expected him to explode. People waited for him to defend himself, to react, to fight back. But he didn't. He stayed completely silent. No reacting, no explaining, no jumping into drama. 6 months later, the truth revealed itself, not because he spoke, but because the liar eventually exposed himself. And in that moment, the man's silence became elegance, dignity, and undeniable strength. While others shouted, he rose above quietly. The solution: use silence as a weapon. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is simply, "I understand," and then walk away without argument or explanation. Let the truth stand on its own. Let time speak for you. Not every battle deserves your voice, and not every accusation deserves your energy. Lesson 4. Not everything deserves your energy. One painful mistake many people make is reacting to everything. Every rude comment, every misunderstanding, every tiny conflict. They react to every accusation, every disrespect, every meaningless situation, and slowly they burn out. They lose their strength without even noticing. They forget that your daily energy is limited. And whatever you give your energy to, you become. Who you respond to determines who you grow into. When you react to everything, you lose what matters most. You spend energy on arguments that don't matter and have none left for what does matter. You lose energy for your goals, your dreams, your peace, and the people who truly care about you. You give your power to what drains you. And then you wonder why you feel empty. You traded your energy for distractions, not for the things that build your future. Let me tell you a story. A brilliant student worked hard every day, dreaming of a bright future. Then one rumor destroyed everything she built. Someone claimed she cheated on an exam. The rumor spread quickly. Friends doubted her. People stopped talking to her. And she felt deeply hurt. She wrote long posts explaining herself. She texted everyone to defend her name. She tried fixing something that didn't need her reaction to begin with. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't focus. Her peace disappeared. And slowly, her grades collapsed. Her dream, once so strong, began to fall apart. Years later, she said a sentence I will never forget. I didn't lose because of what they said. I lost because I reacted to what didn't deserve my reaction. It's a sad story, but a powerful lesson. You don't need to prove yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Not everyone deserves your energy. The truth is simple. Not every issue deserves your mind. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every person deserves your emotional investment. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Choosing your battles means choosing your peace and choosing the future you want to protect. The solution? Protect your energy like gold. Ask yourself every morning, what truly deserves my energy today? Let this question guide your choices. When you do that, you argue less, explain less, and react less. You walk away from noise that doesn't matter, and your life becomes lighter. Your goals are more important than a fight. Your peace is more valuable than a rumor. Your future is bigger than today's small distractions. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply refusing to join a battle that doesn't deserve you at all. Walking away can be the strongest move you make. Lesson 5. The one who stays calm is the one who wins. In life, people often mistake loudness for strength. Who argues louder, who reacts faster, who speaks more sharply. But the truth is gentle and deep. The calm person is always the strongest person in the room. Calm doesn't mean emotionless. Calm means standing steady in the middle of emotion. And when you stand steady, you see clearer, you listen deeper, and you make wiser decisions. Anger blinds you. Calmness helps you see. Let me share a story. On a crowded train one evening, a drunk man entered, yelling, pushing, creating fear everywhere. The entire train felt ready to explode. But in the corner sat an old man, still peaceful, unmoved. He didn't panic. He didn't react. He simply stayed present, calm, and grounded. The drunk man approached him aggressively. The whole train held its breath, and the old man looked into his eyes and said softly, "Whatever happened to you today, I'm sorry it hurt you this much." Just one sentence, and the chaos stopped. The drunk man froze. His fists loosened, his eyes softened. Then he sat down and cried like a child. The old man didn't win by fighting. He won because he refused to be pulled into someone else's storm. His calmness dissolved the chaos around him. Calmness is not a talent. Calmness is a discipline. No one is born calm. Calm people are those who practice calmness every single day through small moments. A spilled coffee, a late bus, a rude message, a sharp comment. These are not annoyances. They are training sessions. They are the gym where your mind grows stronger, And one day, when life throws a real storm at you, you will stand firm, not because life is easy, but because you have trained your calm. The solution: build the discipline of calmness. Step 1, breathe deeper than you think you need. Deep breathing is not an action, it is a weapon. Step 2, observe before you speak. Sometimes people are not attacking you, they are simply showing their own wounds. A 3-second pause reveals the truth. Step 3, ask yourself, am I acting from truth or from pain? If it's pain, wait. If it's truth, continue. This is how calmness becomes your strength. Why do calm people always win? Because they cannot be provoked, they cannot be manipulated, and they don't waste energy on battles that don't matter. They see the truth beneath the emotion, and life always supports those who see clearly. People think strength is loud, but true strength is quiet. Steady, undeniable. Lesson 6. Reacting is a habit. Responding is power. Many people think they react because they are angry, but the truth is simpler. They react because they are used to reacting. Some people instinctively fight back when insulted. Some panic when ignored. Some raise their voice when things don't go their way. For them, reacting is automatic. It's no longer a choice. It becomes instinct, uncontrolled, unexamined. And this is why their life feels chaotic. They live from reaction, not awareness. Reaction is instinct. Response is mastery. The difference between the two decides the quality of your entire life. A reaction is fast, emotional, explosive, born from inner wounds, and usually creates problems. A response is slower, clearer, intentional, and born from understanding. Reactors are like volcanoes, loud, hot, explosive, and regretful. Responders are like the ocean, deep, steady, calm, and hard to disturb. Who do you want to be? Let me tell you a story. A young waiter in a busy restaurant was always kind and respectful. One night, a wealthy customer came in, rude, arrogant, and demanding. When his food was late, he shouted across the room, "Are you deaf, stupid, or just lazy?" The whole restaurant froze, waiting for the waiter to explode. But he didn't. He looked at the man and said calmly, "Sir, I'm doing my best. If that's not enough for you, I understand. But I will still serve you with respect, because that is who I am." The room fell silent. The customer, once loud, suddenly looked small. The waiter stood tall, steady, grounded, and full of dignity. That night, the manager promoted him. Not because he stayed quiet, but because he showed what most people never learn: calmness in the storm. Why do we react? Because we react from old wounds, not from the present moment. We react from pain that still lives in us, not from what is happening now. Abandoned once, you react to silence. Humiliated once, you react to disrespect. Betrayed once, you react to doubt. The trigger is new, but the wound is old. The problem is rarely the person in front of you. The real battle is inside you, with the memories you haven't healed yet. The solution? Turn reaction into awareness, then into response. 3 simple but powerful steps can transform everything. Step 1. Pause for 1 breath. A single breath is enough to interrupt the old pattern. It is the bridge between instinct and clarity. Step 2. Ask, is this emotion from now or from the past? If it's the past, don't react. The present is not the enemy. If it's the present, stay calm before responding. Step 3. Speak only when your heart is steady. Angry emotions create hurtful words. A calm heart creates clear, wise words. Let your words come from wisdom, not wounds. Lesson 7. If you want peace, you must learn to guide your ego. As long as you are human, the ego will always exist. You cannot kill it or erase it. And you shouldn't try to suppress it, because suppression only makes the ego hide deeper and grow stronger. What you can do, and should do, is train it. You guide the ego, you negotiate with it, you help it mature. The ego is not bad. It just hurts you when it is young, insecure, and untrained. Your ego simply wants to be seen, recognized, respected, and heard. That is not wrong. The problem is when the ego reacts like a child, impulsive and emotional. A childish ego wants to win, prove itself, and be understood immediately. And these reactions often make you lose your calm, your value, and your relationships. As you grow, you realize your ego doesn't need to be destroyed. It needs to be guided. It needs leadership, not punishment. Let me tell you a story. A man worked faithfully for years. One day, he was replaced without gratitude. His ego hurt, and it started shouting inside him. They can't treat me like this. I must react. I must prove they were wrong. But if he had tried to kill his ego, he would have exploded even more. Instead, he sat down and listened to his ego. He acknowledged its pain. Then he asked one powerful question. Will reacting help me get the outcome I want? The ego fell silent. It didn't want revenge. It wanted dignity, and he gently guided it toward a wiser choice, one that protected his future. What if we leave quietly? What if we focus on our future? What if we build something better? And this time, the ego agreed. He walked away in peace, not anger. Years later, he succeeded beautifully. Not because he suppressed his ego, but because he guided it to a higher path. You react strongly not because you are bad, but because your ego fears being unseen, misunderstood, rejected, or disrespected. It reacts clumsily to protect you. That's why you must train it, not fight it. Mature ego chooses calm over winning, clarity over noise, and long-term peace over short-term reactions. Step 1. See your ego without judgment. When you feel the urge to fight, argue, or prove yourself, it's not badness. It's an ego asking for help. Step 2. Talk to your ego gently. Ask it. Where does it hurt? What are you afraid of? What are you trying to protect? Is there a better way? When you ask, the ego softens. You do not suppress it. You lead it. You show it that strength can be gentle and still powerful. Step 3. Choose the result, not the reaction. The ego wants to win now, but a mature mind chooses peace, clarity, and the future. Tell your ego, we are not silent because we are weak. We are silent because we choose a better outcome. Guided ego becomes wiser automatically. A young ego wants to win quickly. A mature ego wants peace, truth, and long-term value. When the ego matures, it no longer drags you into impulsive reactions. You don't need to win every argument to be valuable. Your true worth is in understanding yourself, guiding yourself, and walking through life with inner calm. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will treat you well. Not everyone will see your value. But none of that matters as long as you see yourself clearly. If you have stayed with me until now, it means something beautiful lives inside you, a part of you that wants peace, strength, and a gentler life. Not everyone dares to look honestly at their own emotions. Not everyone is brave enough to admit they have reacted too fast, spoken too harshly, or hurt themselves. The fact that you are here, listening to every word of this journey, tells me something important. You are ready to live a better version of yourself. What you've learned is not a technique. It is an art of living. Not reacting does not mean you are weak. Staying silent does not mean you are afraid. And being calm does not mean you have no emotions. Everything you've learned is a form of inner strength, a strength many people never discover in their whole life. This is the strength of someone who grows from the inside. And when you carry this strength, your entire life begins to transform in a quiet but powerful way. First, you stop letting the world push your buttons. When you react quickly, others control you. But when you pause for 5 seconds, you take your power back. One breath is enough to change the direction of your whole day. From that moment, you are no longer a puppet of emotion. You are the one holding the strings. Second, you stop losing important things because of one emotional moment. A wrong message, a harsh sentence, a quick reaction has broken many beautiful relationships. But now you pause, observe, and let emotions pass before you speak. You don't just save relationships, you save yourself from regret and heartbreak. Third, you understand that silence is a strength of the wise. You don't need to speak in every argument. You don't need to explain everything to everyone. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say nothing. Let the truth stand on its own. Let time reveal what noise can never explain. Fourth, you learn to protect your energy. You stop giving it away to meaningless fights, people with bad intentions, small misunderstandings, or stories that don't matter. You start asking, does this deserve my energy? And most of the time, the answer is no. Peace becomes your priority. Your future becomes your focus. Fifth, you learn the power of calmness. When life becomes chaotic, the calm person becomes the leader, the one who sees clearly when others lose control. Calmness is not a gift. It is a discipline you have built day by day. And because of that, you now stand steadier than ever before. Sixth, you learn how to move from reaction to response. You live with awareness, not instinct. You choose your words from clarity, not from old wounds. You are no longer driven by your past. You no longer let old pain guide your decisions. You choose what lifts you, not what pulls you back. And finally, you learn to guide your ego, not fight it, not suppress it, not be ashamed of it. You understand it, talk to it, and help it grow. A guided ego becomes your ally, not your enemy. It helps you choose peace over pride, results over reaction, and your future over your anger. This is wisdom. This is inner growth. And this is the beginning of a new version of you, stronger, calmer, and more awake. If you apply these lessons, you will feel the change in your voice, your eyes, your reactions, the way you protect your energy, and the way you face challenges. But above all, you will feel a change inside your heart, a new stillness, a quiet strength, and a kind of self-mastery you may have never known before. From this moment on, remember this. You don't need to react to everything in life. You don't need to win every argument, fix every misunderstanding, or prove your worth. You only need one thing: peace. And peace comes from mastering your emotions, your reactions, your words, and the ego within you. When the world tries to pull you into chaos, pause, breathe deeply. And remember who you are. You do not belong to noise or pointless battles. You belong to calmness, clarity, and inner freedom. Hold on to that stillness. Let it guide your steps. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say nothing. If this story touched you, if these lessons helped you reflect more deeply on your own reactions and your own peace, please share this video with someone who needs it. One sentence can save a relationship. One idea can calm a storm inside someone's heart. Your share might be the light they need. Before you leave, I want to ask you one powerful question. Today, what is one thing you choose not to react to anymore? A situation? A comment? An old emotion? Leave your answer in the comments. Let it be your promise to your future self. Let it mark the moment you grew stronger. Remember, here at English Richness, we don't just tell stories to help you learn English. We share ideas that awaken clarity and build a richer inner life. If you want to continue this journey, subscribe to the channel and walk with us. Together, we learn, we grow, and we rise. Better English, better life, and above all, you better, starting today.